The invoicing module in 1BizApp has just undergone a major redesign. We always try and give users the best experience possible, and these changes make invoicing in 1BizApp much simpler to do. In this video we'll cover the new aspects to invoicing and their interaction with products. We'll be following an example in our demo company Global Dynamics. First we enter a project. Quotes and invoices now always have a name. In the previous version this wasn't necessary. Going into one of the invoices there are now two views, the old grid layout and a new form layout. The form layout is designed to resemble your invoice sent to the customer. The grid layout shows more elements and has a couple more advanced functions attached. Let's look into the invoice called First Invoice in Form Layout. Just the important information is shown. The top row is the invoice header, then 5 line items that will appear on the invoice. The battery backup item is in fact 3 items rolled into one invoice line item. The underlying components are hidden from the customer. Clicking on the magnifying glass opens this up so the hidden items can be viewed or edited. Clicking on the up button takes us back to the main invoice line items. If we go back into this sublist, we can now look at this line item in more detail. By clicking on the magnifying glass at the top, you can see this group as a line item, with its description as it will appear on the invoice. Its price and VAT can't be changed here because it's made up of 3 underlying units. The individual items making up this line item can be edited individually. Let's now have a look at the grid layout for this invoice. This grid layout shows more detail on each item. The price at the top is the total cost ex VAT for this invoice, i.e. the unit price multiplied by the quantity of each item. The cost total is the cost to you for the invoice or quote. These are set up in the product details screen. We can see this if we go into the key fob detail by clicking on the magnifying glass. Prices and costs for this item can be edited here. We are now going to create a new invoice for this customer. Often, invoices we create will be standard, created from templates. In this example, there is one template set up as shown. Let's have a look to see where these are set up. Go into Products and Stock, then Item Group Templates. Here we can see our single template, and by clicking on it we can see its contents. This template can only be seen in grid view. We now are going to add a new product to this template. Start to type the product name in the Add a Product box and you'll see a list of products in the system. In this example we are adding automated curtains. This product is now added to the template and will always be added each time the template is used. New templates can be easily created by clicking on Item Group Templates, then New Template. Go into the new template by clicking on the magnifying glass. Then fill out the ref code, title, description and group type. The group type defaults to invoice but can also be credit note, expenses or other. Quotes and invoices are both group type invoice, as we hope our quote will eventually become an invoice and be paid. Adding items to new templates is the same as before. Start typing the product name and choose from the drop-down list. You can edit these product items as they are copies of the original product in Products and Stock. So, items in templates can have different prices to those in the products list. Item group templates can be deleted by simply checking the box and deleting them. This will delete the group and the underlying product items. Going back to the first template, you can see that subgroups can be created that contain multiple items. These can be individually edited as items, and the original product will remain unchanged. Going back to the invoice, we can now create a new invoice or group of product items. If we select the template and drill down into it, you can see that the edits we did in the template are reflected here. Items in this list can be deleted without affecting the template because they're not part of the template. And items can be added from the product list in the same way as we saw earlier. Let's switch to form layout to have a look at this quote. Line items here can be edited. Quantities, descriptions, prices, etc. can be changed to suit the customer. The originating product or template cannot be edited here. Notice that the grouped item's price cannot be edited. That has to be done at the sub-level. Going into the sub-level, you can then edit the underlying items. New blank items can be added to the quote. You now fill out the title and description, quantity and price for each of these additional line items. They can be anything that you sell. They now appear as a line item on the quote, but they are not products that exist in products in stock. This means that they can't be used in other quotes or templates. In grid layout, there is a button that allows you to create products from line items. It's called the Create Product button. Select our new line item, click on the Create Products button and create a new product from that line item. Make sure that this really is a new product before continuing. Going into products in stock, you can now see that the new product has been created. This can now be used in other quotes, invoices and even templates. It can be edited as a normal product from here. The original unit of this product was each. We're changing the product now to be by the day. Save and close the new product. Going back into the quote, the line item hasn't changed, as this line item isn't actually the product. It's just a line item either created from a product or created from scratch, as we saw earlier. To get the edited version of this product, you have to first delete this line item, then reselect the new product we just created from the product data. It now appears in the drop-down. This new line item now has the unit of days, which is what we set up when we went into products and stock. Now we're going to create a quote from these line items. So, from this screen, click on Mail Merge and select the quote template. Next, select the customer to be quoted from the list of project contacts. Now press the Create Document button. This will create the quote. Any information not contained in the customer record will have to be added, but everything that can be added automatically will be. The groundwork line item is included as a daily rate, as this came from the product we edited when we did the change just now. The quote can now be sent by pressing the Send Email button. The email and the attached quote are now stored with the project and can be viewed as an attachment to the project. Once the quote has been successfully sent, you will see a green up arrow alongside it. Similarly, the PDF quotation can be seen in the Related Documents section. If the customer returns with a change to the quote, say we need 2 days' work instead of 1, we can simply change the line items to reflect that. We simply change the number of days from 1 to 2, and this will automatically change all the prices. And then when ready, we'd simply do the mail merge again. Let's do an invoice this time, and it will immediately reflect all the changes we've just done. The new email and documents linked with the project will reflect this change. You can see here in the related documents one PDF quote and one PDF invoice. Now we will have a look at how easy it is to create a new quote from scratch. First, go into the Items, Quotes, Invoices list. Instead of selecting the template as we did before, select a new blank item group. Give it a name and drill down into it so we can add line items. Remember, we can add existing products using the Add a Product box, or we can create new line items using the Add Blank Item icon. Then, if we want to, we can create real products from these new items. Quantities, VAT rate, descriptions, etc. can be changed here. These are line items created from the master product. Add a blank item and fill out its details. The quote is created and ready to send to the customer. Now we will have a look at creating a new invoice and look at the ability of 1BizApp to roll up line items to effectively hide them from the customer. They will just see the top level. Let's create a new blank item group. You can edit its name either here or in the details view. We'll put the title in here, but the description in the details view. It doesn't matter where this is done. We will add line items from the products as we saw earlier. We can change quantities, and this is reflected in the changing price. Remember from before that the battery backup is in fact a rolled up item consisting of 3 parts. Now let's do the same and roll up the intercom system. Multiple line items can be selected with a control click in this form view. In the grid view, lines have a checkbox to select multiple items. Once you've selected these items, click on the Group Items button. You are informed of what you're about to do. A new top-level item is created called Grouped Items. This name should be changed for the quote or invoice. You can see that the grouped item has the 3 items under it. These will now not be shown on the invoice or quote. Just the top level will be displayed. In this example, we've included the iron gates by mistake in this rolled up item, so we can put it back to the top level. Pick it up using the mouse and drag it until it's on top of the other level items. If you drop it on the empty space, it won't be moved. Drilling down into the intercom now shows just 2 entries, which is correct. Give the new top level line item a description for the quote or invoice. Notice how the 2 grouped items cannot have their prices changed because this is made up of 2 or more sub-items. The 2 top-level line items can have their prices changed to whatever you like. You can change the quantities of the grouped items, meaning you will have multiple quantities of whatever is rolled up. If you drill down into the rolled up items, then you can change individual prices. Having created our quote or invoice, you can now click on the Mail Merge button at the top of the screen to send to your customer. This concludes our training video of the new invoicing system. We hope you found it useful.